So today we're installing a 5-panel high AquaClimb, which means that from a activity like the diving board here, we need to come back 6 feet. And we also need to make sure that we come back 6 feet from the pool wall edge. So I've marked the center here. And now what I'm going to do is make sure that my drop zone down there, I need 12 feet. And so obviously it's well marked here, but I want to make sure that if we have a sloping pool floor, that the floor as it slopes up, that I still am in the drop zone of 12 feet on both sides. And the position that I have marked here, we conform to that. So I'm just going to check, see how level our base is. And it's perfect. So I won't need to raise or lower this. This is perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to align and position our support legs. Because the guttering system overhangs, has a cantilever here of about 12 inches, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to support the front on the stainless gutter, and the way we do that is we use some AquaClimb support legs. So I can show you how we install those support legs. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach the support legs, and the way we do that is we have a flat plate underneath, and that will support the frame, and then we have a leg that will support, a pad that will support the AquaClimb on the gutter itself. And then on top of that we place a washer and we place our nut. We position it back over the gutter. We take up the space in between until it just supports it. We'll tighten down. There we go. So what is most important here is that both support legs are identically positioned, and the best way to do this is to take a measurement from a datum. I'm going to take my measurement from this bar back to the gutter. It's a very simple measurement. Here it says I'm 4 1/4. I am 4 1/4 there. Perfect. So we want to make sure that we don't drill through the concrete, okay, leaving enough substance there to support this anchor inside. We also know that our engineer has specified that a minimum of 2 7/8 of an inch must be embedded in the concrete. Okay, so I know that for a fact, 2 7/8, so I'm going to say 3 inches, because there may be some debris at the bottom even though we try to clean the holes out. The next thing I know is that my tube is 1 1/2 inches in height. And I also know that when I put on a nut and a washer, leaving myself some space at the top, that means that I have a requirement of 5 1/2 inches between the top and the bottom of the hole. In this situation we always supply a 6-inch anchor, so I've been given myself an extra inch of space. So I'm actually going to drill into the concrete 3 1/4 inches. So as I'm going to drill the holes on this, I'm going to be drilling through the base. So I want to mark on accurately on my drill the depth that I need to drill. So I know I'm going to go 3 1/4, 1 1/2, which gives me 4 3/4 of depth. So I'm going to measure down from the drill base 4 3/4. And I'm going to mark it with some black tape, just some electrical tape. And what this will do, it will make sure that I don't puncture through the bottom of the concrete, and that I know that I have the correct depth for putting the wedge anchor into the concrete. Okay, so the AquaClimb, the 5-panel high AquaClimb, has a longer base than the 2 high, 3 high and 4 high AquaClimb. That means it also requires 6 anchors, not 4. When I look at this AquaClimb, I certainly want to put one as close to the front as I can, so I will always put one in here. I always want to put one on the furthest to the back, but in fact I personally prefer to put them into a position just one back in here. And so I'm going to have one in here, and now I have a choice, either one of these. The reason we have so many holes, as you can see, is because sometimes in here the reinforcing bars prevent us from drilling as deep as we can possibly get. So I've added a couple of holes as alternatives. Now the reason that I like to put the drill holes before the weld is it supports that joint a little bit more than behind the weld. Now because we use the base as our drilling template and we drill through the base, what I like to do is, once I've drilled the hole, as I've done here, I've drilled the hole, what I want to do is, if I'm drilling 5 more holes, I want them all to accurately line up with my wedge anchor. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to place with my thread facing down, I'm going to place that in that hole. So I've placed my wedge anchor, thread down, into that hole, and that then provides me where, as I drill, I will drill each one and put the wedge anchor down in, so I know that all 6 fit perfectly. Okay, so we've drilled all 6 holes. Now, just remove the anchors, remove the base, and now we just need to vacuum out the holes. When installing these wedge anchors, because they're stainless steel, they have a tendency to gall, which means that the nut, if this is dry, the nut will seize to the anchor, and that becomes so problematic because you can't either screw it down or take it off to replace it. So we not only highly recommend, it is critical. It's absolutely, you can buy this at Fastenal. I think you can probably buy it at Home Depot. But what you're really trying to do is coat the top 1.5 inches of each thread. That's all you need to do. Coat it. Okay. What I'm going to do now is just hit each one in gradually so I can locate every one of them. One of the things that I did forget to mention was that before I tap these anchors in, really it's better to have the nut and the washer already on there. And even though I tap lightly, on some of these anchors the top can splay out, which would almost prevent you from putting the nut on. So always remember, put the nut on first. Another thing is that when you're setting the anchor, you'll always know when the anchor has been set at the bottom of the hole. The noise changes. It's a more solid, just like that. Once these wedge anchors are in place, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you firmly tighten each nut. Now, I say firmly, you can take it to any torque setting, 70 pound, but basically I prefer just to tighten it, make sure it's firm. Okay, so we're now going to place the main climbing wall and locate it onto the base. This main wall comes fully assembled, pre-hinged, and all you have to do is lay it out flat with the panels facing up. And then as we lift it, as you'll see, it's 6 of us here lifting this just for convenience sake, because we had 6 guys. Can comfortably be done by 4 people. So what we're going to do now is, here is the bottom part of the AquaClimb. We're going to locate the 2 pins that we have on either side. There's 2 pins on this side, 2 pins on the other, and they're going to be located into the base. And that's the tricky part. They're going to go into these slots here. So you keep up, you guys, and we are going to keep going out, keep going out, keep going out, keep going out, and you should be able to locate it now. You need to go that way, slightly. Okay, stop. Stop. Which way? Have you look at those pins?
I need to go up some.
You need to go up.
Right.
There you go. Goes in. Pedal go in. Okay, I'm in. No, I'm not. Turn that way slightly. Okay, that's it. Now we're going to rotate this bottom piece up, like this. Keep rotating, stop. And put that piece on the ground with some cardboard under it. So the final part of putting the lower section up is to put the pin through the hole down the bottom. And it should locate. If it's a little tight, just tap it. It's always good to find a tall person. And what I want you to do is, I want you to put this bolt through there, okay? And then I want you to put it into the tab over here. Okay?
You got it, cut.
Okay, so lift it up a bit, put that in. Okay, now I want you to put this in.
Pull-out game is weak.
Guys, to break this here in the middle. You walk forward, stay there and hold that. Okay, lift this one up into place. Push this, keep walking it up vertically. Keep walking forward.
Keep going, Mark. Keep going, Mark.
Okay. Walk forward. There you go. Go. Keep walking forward. Okay. And now push that up, out the way.
Out the way?
Yeah, out the way.
I'm getting out the
It's
way.
not going to go anywhere.
I'm about to let it go.
Let go. Okay. And now push that up.
Oh! Did you feel like that shit was about to go in?
Push up.
That's
Ready?
okay.
Okay. Push. There you go.
Push
Come
down.
on, push up. Okay, push out and hold it out. Okay, so push down slightly. We'll put this into there. Okay, thanks. That's it. Okay, so one of the things that we do get asked is, how does this bar fit onto this bolt? And everything we do is got to be under tension. So we're just going to put this under tension. Would you mind just... Okay, you ready? And put it under tension. You have to push from here.
Oh.
Okay, you ready? So make sure that when you are putting the tension bar on, that you're putting it onto the top screw, not the bottom screw. So I just climbed up the back of the AquaClimb, and I'm securing the top anchor now, which you put again into the top bolt.